Hey guys, it's Oluvids, and if you guys remember from around when the Kingdom Hearts 20th anniversary happened, and on the actual 20th anniversary of the series, I did a video called One Heartfelt Scene, which is the, everyone's favorite scene in Kingdom Hearts. It was kind of a community-based thing where, you tell me what your favorite thing is, I kind of react to it and give my thoughts on what you said as well. So I figured I could make it into a series, so this is going to be the One Heartfelt Scene, but now for Ventus. What is your favorite Ventus scene and things like that? So you can see I got the green for his wayfinder, the green wayfinder. Anyway, so I got answers from both YouTube and Twitter, and of course at the end I'll say what my favorite one is for Ventus. And yeah, so if you end up enjoying this video, definitely leave a like and subscribe, because I'll be doing more of these, so you're gonna want to know when I post one of these community posts, so I can let you know when you could answer these questions and be featured in the video. Anyway, let's get into this. The first one we got is the Gummyphone. And he said, the moment he accepts Sora into his heart and summons Wayward Wind is an interesting contrast to how he had Missing Ache in Daybreak Town. So if you guys don't remember, in Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, that was the first game he's really shown in outside the Kingdom Hearts 2 secret cutscene. He was kind of broken after Xehanort ripped out Ventus from his dark side, and then he linked up his heart with Sora's. He didn't go into Sora's heart yet, but he linked up his heart with Sora and then summoned his Keyblade. And so yeah, that's the scene that Gummyphone is talking about. And yeah, it's definitely different because he had Missing Ache back in Union Cross, if you remember. I do wonder where did Wayward Wind come from, because before he had Missing Ache and then he has Wayward Wind, there's got to be some reason that his Keyblade changed. Either from, I don't know, maybe the time travel changed something, maybe it's because he lost his memories. I'm not really sure, but yeah, for whatever reason he has Wayward Wind now. And yeah, pretty cool scene where he connects with Sora for the first time. Next one we have is from Chrysalis Wyvern, and they say, interesting idea. His fight with Ventus, first one is pretty cool, but it has to be when he's awakened again. I'm assuming he means in Kingdom Hearts 3. And yeah, so when he awakens again in Kingdom Hearts 3, so if you guys don't remember, there was a boss fight between Aqua and Ventus. You see Ventus sleeping over there in Land of Departure, and he's just chilling there, and then eventually Aqua gets beat up. She gets blindsided trying to protect him, and then she's about to die. Sora can't get in, no one else can get in, and then, Sora ends up using the power of waking that was with him all along, apparently. And he wakes up Ventus. Ventus comes in, strikes through the shield, and has that really cool screenshot that I used in my community post here. Has that really cool shot where he goes in and fights off Ventus, and Ventus just runs away. Yeah, that was a really cool moment. That was pretty much his big return to the series. Kingdom Hearts 3 had a lot of big returns, and Ventus was one of them. That happened before the Rockets won all that. Yeah, it was a really cool scene, and eventually leads to him and Sora really meeting face to face for the first time. So that was pretty cool. Thank you for that pick. Also, thank you to everyone who posted. Thank you, Gummyphone. Thank you, Chris. Next one we have is kind of like the same thing. Lisa Lemming says, Ven in Kingdom Hearts 3 when he helped Sora with the power of waking, and when they meet after Venus was gone. So yeah, it's like when they met face to face for the first time, because of course they connected to each other, they know each other's existence, but they've never even actually seen each other before. So then Kingdom Hearts 3 is when they finally see each other face to face, and they really meet, for real, not in their hearts. And yeah, it was a pretty cool scene where Ventus makes his big return, and I'm sure all the Ventus fans, actually any Kingdom Hearts fan must have been really happy at that moment. I was really happy. It was a cool scene. I wish we got to do more on Land of Departure. But anyway, that was all the YouTube comments. So I appreciate everyone who commented on the YouTube post. Again, if you want to be featured in any of these videos, you're going to want to post it on here or the Twitter post I made. We're going to be switching over to the Twitter one in just a second. But anyway, so yeah, thank you guys for commenting on the YouTube so much, and I hope you will be back for the other ones I do. Next, let's go over to the Twitter posts, and then after that, we'll talk about my favorite Ventus scene. Okay, so here we are on the Twitter version of this post. This one has more postings on it, more replies. First one you have is from Crimson Jake, which if you remember, if you watched the original 20th anniversary Heartfelt video, he wasn't there in video form. This time he's there in text form. And he says, this one doubles for one of my favorite Ventus moments too. I feel like you can see Ventus' maturity here, with it being 10 to 12-ish years since Ventus was born. Ven does his best to reason with Ventus, but he just isn't capable of it. Loved it. Despite Kingdom Hearts 3's flaws, it did handle the farewell of some of the series' best and or complex characters. Xemnas, Ansem Secret of Darkness, Ventus, they're all really great. And yeah, eventually, they're all like, oh, don't worry, you can choose Ventus, you don't have to be Darkness. And Ventus is like, okay, well, I choose Darkness. And Ven is like, you know what? If that's what you choose, then that's what you choose. That's your decision to make. And Sora's like, no, this is not okay. Saying all this stuff. Ventus is like, no, that's his decision. That's what he wants to do. So that's what will happen. And yeah, Ventus is like, you know, I didn't ask for any of this to happen. I didn't want any of this to happen, but that's just the way it is. And yeah, this is Ventus' maturity. He definitely thought about this a lot over that decade, pretty much. And yeah, that is a really good scene. I also just like it because Ventus was like stuck with his darkness thing. He was like, oh, I'll turn good, guys. Don't worry. I'll join you guys and fight Xehanort. I'm really bad. I think it would have been kind of bad if he did that. I think it's great that he stuck to his guns and what he even is and what he wants to be. So yeah, great pick, Crimson Jake. Always nice to see you around. Hope to see you again next time. Next one we got is from Ray the Jet, which he is a streamer if you haven't seen his streams yet. Says either this or that. He sent 2 links. Ven's line when he says put an end to me is killer. Yeah, that is a classic Ventus scene. You know, everyone knows about that scene where he's like, all right, Xehanort wants me to use me as the, you know, the Keyblade, make me and Ventus fight. He's like, I'm not gonna fight. You know what, Terra, Aqua, just like put an end to me, kill me, so that he can't, you know, make his plan come true. And that's like, wow. I mean, a 15-year-old literally asking his friends to kill him. That's kind of wild, you know. And this is a, you know, little Kingdom Hearts key Disney game, but yeah, it could get pretty heavy sometimes. After checking out the other link he also put the scene where Ventus was first made. So this is when he was training with the Xehanort, and Xehanort's kind of, some of the Neo Shadows was pushing him too far. And, you know, Xehanort's like, wow, okay, this guy is not it. And then he just creates Ventus, and that makes Ventus become just broken. And, you know, Ventus, you know, ends up becoming Xehanort's new apprentice and all that. That was a pretty good scene. Those are both pretty good scenes. Not pretty good, like really good. Those are like essential Ventus scenes that, you know, everyone knows. Thank you, Ray the Jet, for your, you know, reply, and I'll see you again sometime on this. Alright, next one we have is from Brandon, the RPG guy. Nice to see you, Brandon. This one is one of my favorites for sure, even though this is a heavily focused Sora scene. It really sets things in motion about Roxas, etc., and Ventus being just comfortable with Sora, and how his heart was a dreamscape calming until Kingdom Hearts 3. So yeah, this was actually a really nice scene too. Like, after everything that happened in Birth by Sleep, everyone kind of got screwed over in some ways. You know, Ventus, his heart was just got ejected from his body. He was just empty. You know, Aqua got trapped in the realm of darkness, and Terra lost his body over to Xehanort. And yeah, this was really nice. You know, after all this stuff, Ventus kind of gets to rest. You know, he's been through a lot, and he gets to rest within Sora's heart fully. And, you know, at the beginning of the game, he connects with Sora, and then he's like, all right, my heart got displaced, so let me go find that kid again. And he's like, hey Sora, can I like rest with you for a bit? He's like, wow, like this place is, you know, you're my second chance and all that. Thank you, Brandon, for that submission. Hope to see you again on one of these again. Next one we got is from Key Hunter, or just Key, and he says, I find it hard to name a favorite scene since he's basically my favorite character, but I've always been a fan of his introduction at the start of Birth by Sleep, where Sora recompletes his heart. Other than that, it's probably the scene before his final fight with Ventus. So we already talked about the scene where he connects with Sora. The part where, you know, right before his final fight, basically, you know, Ventus and Ventus have joined up. You know, I'm just saying to see if you don't remember. They joined up, and Ventus kind of like floats into his heart, into his station of awakening, and you see that it's both Ventus and Ventus on his station instead of just him. And, you know, Ventus is all like, oh yeah, like join with me, all that stuff. And Ventus is like, nah, you know, friends and all that. And Ventus is like, oh, it's always about your friends. And then so Ventus is like, at least I have some. And, you know, Ventus just dies on the spot. And I'm kidding. But, yeah, basically he's talking about how, you know, his friends are super important to him. And he has more, you know, he has strength. He's not weak anymore. He's not just nothing. He has his friends. And he draws strength from them just like how they draw strength from him. He has a reason to keep on fighting. He has a reason to not die. Because he wants to get back to his friends. Great scene, and that was a great boss fight. Turned all Dragon Balls started flying around. Great boss fight in terms of like the whole cinematic view of it. And yes, thank you, Key Hunter, for that pick. Hope to see you again. Next one we have is from Pastelli Sasu, who has a Joshua profile picture. Ventus. I don't need to explain anymore. Yeah, I completely understand. And the last one we have is from Inky Artist 1, and they say, I've never been a huge Ven fan, but I think this was a good showcase of his current story and motives, as well as being fun, fanservice-y, and entertaining. And also he's talking about the scene where Ventus meets Isa and Lee back when they were somebodies before they became Axel and Syax over in Radiant Garden. And yeah, it was a nice, you know, fanservice scene. You get to see them 10 years before, you know, we see them normally, and he makes friends with them. Ventus knows Syax and Axel. He makes friends with them. Also, his introduction to Unicross is great because it's a, you know, it's a no more you madman moment. Yeah, that was just, it was a scene where like the Dandelions, the whole leaders, union leaders, that's what it was, and we're joining. They were all meeting up at the Keyblade graveyard. So you had Ephemer come in, you had Skuld, you had this weird guy with the hat, you know, Brain. You're like, who was this guy? I remember we were first saying Blaine, and then I was like, no, it's Brain. And Ventus comes in, he's like, oh yeah, hey guys, and we're just like, huh? Yeah, so good pick, Inky, and thank you for applying. Hope to see you again. So now it's down to what my favorite Ventus scene is, and it does kind of connect to the one Inky said, the first one with Ventus meeting Lee and Isa. It's not that one, but it's actually in Kingdom Hearts 3, where Axel is just like, alright, everyone here seems to know each other. I'm just here. No one really knows me besides like, the guys who already knew me in Kingdom Hearts 2. But it's like, I don't have any kind of connection. What's going on? And he's like, this is all so complicated. And then Ven's just like, sorry, Lee. And then Lee's just shocked. He's like, wait, you remember me? Like, you got it memorized? Because in Birth by Sleep, he's like, oh yeah, I want everyone to remember me and all that. And then, I mean, yeah, he definitely made an impression because after 10 years, I mean, Ven completely remembers him. He instantly knew he was Lee, even though it's been 10 years since he's seen him. And I like that Ventus was low-key about it. He wasn't like, oh, wow, Lee, you look so much bigger. Whoa. Like, no, he was just like, oh, sorry, Lee. Like, just a low-key way of saying, like, yeah, I know where you are. Don't worry. You fit into this too. Don't worry. So anyway, that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm going to be doing more. I'm going to be doing, you know, of course, for Terra, Aqua, the rest of the Kingdom Hearts characters, honestly. The next one will probably be Terra. So stay tuned for that. I'll let you guys know when I'm taking submissions, you know. So be sure to check my YouTube. Turn on the bell too. Turn on the bell for YouTube and for Twitter if you'd like to know when exactly I'm going to be doing these. And I usually announce it in my Discord server too. So if you want to just join that, then you'll get the notification there as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I'll be seeing you guys next time.